Alright, Ruthless fans, this is my review for Season 2, Episode 11, entitled Secrets of the Garden. Now, this one I'm giving a 7 out of 10, mainly because I laughed so many times at it. At certain parts, because, oh man, this episode was more of those simplicity works best kind of things, where some character moments were just, I don't know if they were just improvised by the characters, but regardless, I love like the little details and connections between, a certain two, or maybe even a certain group of characters in the episode. So before moving further in the review, make sure you give it a thumbs up. So hit the thumbs up button to show you like the video. Hit subscribe as we get closer to 200,000 subscribers. Hit that bell icon and select all. That way you don't miss out whenever I post content on the channel. And follow me on social media. Links are in the description below. So, Elder Mother Alice is dead. She is dead as you can die. Yeah, that's pretty much the beginning of the episode. Because we picked it up where we left off. And the trailer's locked. Lacey and Paula can't escape. I ain't gonna lie, Lacey done snapped at this point, because Paula's like, well, what are you gonna do? They're gonna kill us for sure now. Lacey's like, no, when Daikon gets in here, we're gonna use that chance to escape, and we're gonna take him out too. Paula's like, what? Like we took out the Elder Mother. We're gonna take that chair and take him out, and then we're gonna leave, and we're gonna get in the car, and that's it. And Paula's like, yeah, we gonna die. So Lacey starts saying that Oliver's gonna help him out. And she starts to whistle. And Paul's like, what are you doing? It's our lover's call. And when I make this noise and Oliver makes this noise, we know to come to each other. Cuckoo! I can't really do a bird call. And she Paula just yep, this is it for this. This is a wrap. Should have stayed my ass in the kitchen. But we go over to Daikon coming out of the highest trailer to see the Elder Mother there, and lets her know, yes, Clark did as instructed to not let anyone come in to disturb the highest while he's having his breakfast. But the Elder Mother just goes back and forth with Daikon as only these two characters can. You got Elder Mother always throwing the shade, Daikon who tries to take the higher road, well, I'm letting you know what's going to happen here, and that's you're not going to see the highest. And, well, I'll talk loud so he knows I'm out here. Highest! Fine, you go in, but I'm coming too. No, you're not. Yes, I am. So they go in there, and the highest is just chill. He's like, wait, what are y'all bickering about now, children? What's going on here? I came in here, and he wouldn't let me talk to you. And then they just keep going back and forth, until this dude just rolls up a napkin and tosses it directly at her head. I don't know why, but that was just hilarious to me. I don't know if they did this in one take. I would be very impressed, because I would bust out laughing. If I were in Daikon's position and I just saw what went down, I would lose it. And it was funny to me. It really was funny to me. But, even though she vouches for the other Elder Mother, the rules are the rules, and if one person messes up, the whole trailer gets punished as a result. So she's dismissed, and Daikon is sent to, check on Lilo's car and pretty much, go about business around the compound as usual. Zane comes into the kitchen to tell Tally and Ruth about the Lacey and Paula escape plan, and Ruth says that the highest isn't that bad when he isn't high, but Tally kind of checks her as a result of that. I don't like it when you talk like that. And then she brings up the fact that they could possibly get the keys for the car and get their keys and, find the keys to the car, get their kids and leave the compound. And, the whole discussion about what I said in my last review about the spotters, people who are lined up down the road to try to shoot you, could shoot through the car. I'm pretty sure Lilo's windows aren't bulletproof, so it's just one of those situations where, I don't know. It sounds like a good plan in theory. Could this be how Tally escapes? Maybe, but this conversation just yet again shows that these two really aren't on the same wavelength like they used to be in the early parts of the series, where one person has a plan, the other one says it's a bad idea, but then eventually they do what they want to do anyway, and then it blows up in their face every time. Because, Ruth and Tally ask, Zane, well, what was their plan? To just get in the car and leave? But I don't know how they got the keys or where they're at exactly, but, I guess it's one of those things, because Ruth says it's a good thing they didn't escape, because if they did, it could have resulted in more than just, those two maybe getting away or killed. A lot of them could have been killed as a result. I mean, think of it this way. Everybody's still on edge from the last group of people who tried to escape. So imagine them taking Lilo's car, which is a situation the highest is already on the edge about, because, well, that's Lilo's car. And if anything happens to his car, that could mean something bad would happen to everyone in the compound, given that, he's with the cartel. And remember, his dead body is chopped up, dismembered in the back trunk of that car. So, we go over to Clark and Daikon, which was probably my favorite part of the episode. So, they're just sitting outside of Daikon's trailer, just talking. And Daikon says, you know what? In my world, a perfect world, I'd killed that elder mother. And then Clark, pretty much is his yes man. But then he's like, don't laugh at that. She's still an elder. She's still needed. She's just an old, bitter, evil woman. And it's funny to me because Clark says, well, hey, you said it, not me. Well, you know what? You're a witness to that. I got to hand it to you. You're right. Yeah, I'm right. And then Clark goes, a wrinkled hand. And then he kind of like, imitates the elder mother, like shaking her shaky hand and putting it towards Daikon. And what gets me is when Daikon goes, you creep me out. Go back to your post. I don't know why, but that scene was hilarious. So when Clark just bounces, because Daikon's tripping, he calls Andrew over there. And then he pretty much says, you know what, brother, I doubt you. At this point, Andrew's like, you know what, man, I'm tired of this shit. You always say you doubt me. You always say you don't trust me. Then you pull some kind of stunt. And then even Daikon says, yes, every time I doubt you, it turns out my suspicions were wrong. But I still don't trust you. But he just asked about the Lilo situation with the car. And to make sure, Andrew checks it out, everything's good to go. And he also mentions the whole punishment trailer scenario with Alice, elder mother Alice, Lacey, and Paula. And then Andrew's like, what they being punished for? What they do? Maybe I should let you punish them. Nah. The elder mother reminds me of my mother. I don't have the stomach for it. What if the highest asked you to do it? Then I would do it, brother. But just come with me and let's look at the car. So they go over to the car and it's brought up about the smell. It's like, I would, if I had the keys to the car, I'd open the doors, let the windows down, and let the smell get in here. Cause I don't like Lilo. That's a good way to think about it, brother. But what the hell is that smell? It's the outhouse up the hill, brother. The smell's coming down here. Oh yeah, we ought to get the boy to clean it. Oh, that's right. You murdered him. And then from there, Andrew's like, can I go now? Yes, you can. But don't think I let you off the hook about punishing them. Because Daikon said he'd think about whether or not he would let Andrew punish Lacey and Paula and the elder mother or not. But regardless, Tally and Ruth are in the garden out of the kitchen looking for some spices. And in the midst of, getting things together, Ruth tells Tally about how, you know what, I want to tell you something, but don't get upset. Ruth has been talking to me about certain things, about the intel on the money, the fact that a group of people want to leave. And, Tally apparently knows a lot of this stuff. But to be completely honest, she was an elder before Ruth. I know it's hard to believe that, but she was an elder before Ruth. We don't know for how long she held the title, but she was in that position before her buddy was. So it's quite possible that she has been aware of a lot of these things. It isn't just, an ass pool of, wait a minute, how does Tally know all this stuff all of a sudden? It's just that she's not thinking straight most of the time. But essentially, in the midst of, getting some spices, they do a little digging, literally, because they got to get the stuff out of the ground. And they find the robe. And I think it's William or one of the guys that were actually killed when they were trying to escape, because it was mentioned by Elder Mother that they'd make great fertilizer for the food that we put in the garden. So continuity wise, yeah, this is actually spooky but accurate. But they try to cover up the body and they get the hell out of there. So we go over to Polk's house. He calls Melinda, and he's kind of stern and stoic, and Melinda notices, "Oh, you're excited to see me, huh? Yeah, just get over here as quickly as you can." "Okay, well, I'm on my way. I should be there 15, 20 something minutes. I just had to get some gas first." So yeah, wait till we get to the cliffhanger. So Oliver and Clark are having a chat. Oliver's barely gotten any rest, and everything checked out when he went by Andrew's house to make sure his wife, everything, she was dead and whatnot. And Clark thinks Andrew is an infiltrator, and he feels like he's a cop, and Oliver tries to vouch for him because remember, him and Andrew are on the same team, given that Andrew has looked out for this guy at least 2 or 3 times at this point. But he pretty much says that, hell, we should just find something on him or frame him because I don't want him around. He just feels like a cop, he just walks like a cop, acts like one. He just gives off a vibe that I don't think he belongs here. So he just tells Oliver to get some rest before it's his turn to watch shift because, like Andrew said in the last episode, I believe, he's been up for like 36 hours. This dude does not rest at all. So Ruth and Tally, they try to take a moment to recuperate after what they saw in the garden, and Tally's just losing her damn mind. And, they talk about the Williams situation, about that boy. He's gone through so much at the compound. It's like, it's a shame of what happened to him. He could have, I don't know. And then she brings up like everybody being brainwashed and whatnot. So it kind of felt like we were rehashing old territory about how the food and everything, and people think this place is paradise. So this is where I'm like, yeah, yet again, I could see where Tally's probably going to, lose it. But Tally thinks that if she is like the first person to speak up about leaving, then a bunch of other people will speak up too, and the Highs will have no choice but to let us go. But Ruth is like, don't you think about doing that? Don't you even say that. Just no. Because it's like one of those things, like, how in movies and TV, when somebody gets up and either does something or says something, and then the crowd doesn't respond, but then that one person starts a slow clap, and then everybody joins in. Tally's thinking, you know what? If I stand up and say what everybody's feeling, then I know they'll back me up. No. Just no. No. So, we got Andrew and Oliver having a quick chat about the car situation. About Andrew's like, "Oliver, it's stinking. Well, it's the sun, brother. But we got to get him out here as soon as we can." So Oliver lets him know about the Clark thing. It's like, look, Clark is after you. He's on to you. He thinks you're FBI and he wants to expose you. So Andrew retorts by saying, Lacey's in the punishment trailer. It's been a while. Like, they must be playing those mind games where they just leave people in there for a long time to make them contemplate on what the punishment is. And Oliver's like, well, I don't think there's nothing I can do about that situation. Because apparently it's like they were stealing charcoal from the highest. So, oh man, I forgot in the last episode, one of the funniest lines was when the highest was like, "Yeah, punish him good, Daikon." No, actually, it was this episode. "Punish him good, Daikon. Trying to steal my charcoal. That's my charcoal." So, he can't find the car keys, but he actually has a good idea. He's like, "Hey, let me get Yancey to help me out with, hot wiring the car, because if he does it, I can just say Lilo told me to gas it up for him, basically make sure the car is in good shape while it's here at the compound." And Andrew's like, "That's a perfect idea." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's great." So I'm like, okay, maybe this will work out. But then I haven't watched episodes 12 and 13 yet, so I don't know if anything happens to Yancey. But I do think that Tally's going to kill him or something. I don't know. But Lacey and Paula, they're in the trailer, and she tells her, "Lacey, stop that whistling. Ain't nobody coming to help us out." And they just kind of contemplate their options, and they both kind of talk about how they wind it up in the compound and what they'll do when they leave. But to be honest, they actually said this a while back when it was those two and Zane in their trailer bedroom. And, Paula was like, I think she said her mother or grandmother said, beware of false prophets and whatnot. And Lacey's like, I want to get out of here, be on the beach with my man, just having a good time, enjoying life, because this compound has us locked up like animals. So they embrace pretty much, okay, well, this heifer dead and she's starting to stink. Yeah, when you die, sometimes you expel gases and whatnot. So given the heat, being stuck in that trailer for a while, it's probably a place where they could use some Febreze. Now, we go over to the last scene where Melinda comes over to Poke, and she's all like, oh, okay, well, you're glad to see me, huh? You miss me, yeah. And Poke is like, where you been at? Who you been with? Now, I'm not telling you that. What's going on here? Why are you interrogating me? And why did you target me? What are you talking about? Where you just came on to me and knocked me out, and then you and some guys came into the sheriff's department to steal information on the Rakadushi, and now you got me in so much trouble. So he tries to restrain her in the midst of their back and forth. She grabs a knife, stabs him in the neck, and he falls to the floor. Damn. So are we killing a person every single episode? Is that what's happening now? But I really enjoyed this episode. The comedic timing on a lot of these characters was just genuinely hilarious. And it looks like we are somewhat progressing in the story. I guess if some storylines aren't moving quick enough, we're just going to start killing characters left and right. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree with my score of a 7 out of 10 for this particular episode of Ruthless? Make sure you like and subscribe. And if you would like to donate to the channel, feel free to do so on PayPal or Cash App.